Good evening. I'm Lisa Broom with the Tuesday, March 3rd edition of the CBC Evening News. In our top story, officials of the Barbados Agricultural Management Company and independent growers have met to examine a startup date for the 2015 harvest, among other issues. Those talks took place this afternoon at the BAMC's Warren's office just after 2:30. CBC understands a March 23rd date for the start of the crop has been suggested. The harvest is expected to yield just under 12,000 tons of sugar. Now, sources say the BAMC has received at least 10 of the $12 million in support from government promised this year. It's part of a $70 million restructuring loan for the industry from ANSA Merchant Bank. Sugar officials have told CBC those funds have gone to pay farmers' price support, the final cane payments for 2014, and for the Barbados Cane Industry Corporation. It's understood that BAMC officials are still looking for operating expenses for the harvest to pay wages to cane haulers and bin contractors. Now, if the March 23rd date is agreed to, it appears that steam trials at Portville will be conducted during the week starting Monday, March 16th. The project, dubbed Fairchild Central, which include plans to redevelop the Fairchild Street bus terminal and incorporate the river terminal into a new facility, have been scaled down. This has been confirmed by Minister of Transport and Works, Michael Lashley. The $25 million project was revealed last April following a tour of the two city facilities. The project was to be conducted in 3 phases, with the area of the old Fairchild Street Market developed into a main terminal and a living bridge for vendors. The existing bus terminal was slated to undergo redevelopment in Phase 2 and a new river terminal constructed that is, in Phase 3.
We're scaling that down in terms of cost. As you know, obviously guided by the Minister of Finance, we have to try to bring the cost down, bring it in a reasonable cost. So we've actually gone back to the drawing board in terms of bringing it down so that it be manageable and it does not impact on the country finances.
Mr. Lashley tells CBC News priority will be given to improving the infrastructure at the river terminal,
particularly in regulating the traffic out there, particularly also in bringing some new facilities. And we are also looking at bringing a new image to that terminal, and also there might be a possibility that we are looking at alternative sites so that we can, even if it reaches that stage, that we can move those that are vans and minibuses from out there to a place where we can have them controlled. But that is something that we're looking at. But of course, we are also looking at improvement in there. So we're looking at the cost of each, and I believe the one that is really cost effective, we would go with.
The Coastal Zone Management Unit is closely monitoring the situation of beach erosion. Many have raised concern about erosion on some of the nation's beaches, more recently at Brandon's. Acting head of the unit, Dr. Lorna Innes, has however made it clear that the gain and loss of sand is a natural process.
What we have is a vigorous and vibrant beach profile monitoring program where we measure the volume and width, the volume of sand and the width of a number of beaches. We're close to 100, if not more at this point, sites around the island where we measure on a quarterly basis the changes in beach width and sand volume. This is, of course, not just crucial to our science. It's important to the disaster management, and it's also important even to the tourism sector.
Dr. Innes says they will not intervene in every situation.
You look at the seasonal and the natural ebb and flow of sediment onto a beach, and we are able to determine whether we should intervene artificially, because our intervention into a natural process changes the process. So we don't want to do that lightly. You want to make sure that when a beach erodes, that it may erode for a long enough period of time or to an extent that it requires intervention. And our modeling and analysis will tell us that.
Concerns have been raised about planned coastline development at Sandy Lane. Some surfers are so worried it will destroy one of the popular surfing areas, they're lobbying against the move. The group, led by Sam Innes, delivered a petition with hundreds of signatures to the Environmental Protection Department and the Town and Country Planning Development Office. Mr. Innes says some breakwaters are planned as part of the project, and one of them will negatively impact surfers.
We, the surfers and the beach users of Barbados, we are petitioning against the one being placed on the surf break. And we are requesting that a proper environmental and social impact study be done properly and not hastily, so that the other breakwaters that they want to put in place can be done and done properly, so it doesn't cause any negative effects along this coastline.
International surfing judge Elvis Carter is supporting the cause. He believes losing the surfing spot would be a major blow to Barbados.
It is one of the best surf breaks we have in the island. I don't think we should ever be destroying reefs or surf breaks in Barbados, because surfing is a growing sport. It's growing throughout the world. I mean, we have places in the United States in the desert where people are building wave pools. England is building a wave pool that costs millions of pounds. Australia. So, you know, surfing, we are a surfing nation, and we need to keep the things that bring tourists to Barbados.
However, the surfers are being assured they have nothing to fear. This from Beach Regeneration Limited, the non-profit organization behind the development. Spokesman Richard Hudson says all they're seeking to do is stop the significant erosion taking place and rehabilitate the beach. He says they are now modeling scenarios to find the best solution for all concerned. Mr. Hudson also pointed out that several government departments will have to sign off on the plans before any work is undertaken. Students of the Lodge School are partnering with a major supermarket to showcase their talents in the kitchen. And they will also get the chance to have some of their products on the shelf. Lisa Lord reports.
The Food and Nutrition CAPE class at the Lodge School is the biggest in the region, with 30+ students. Some classes in countries like Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago, for example, reportedly only manage to attract around 5 students for the subject at that level. And today, those students showcased some very unique products to patrons at the Emerald City supermarket. But it wasn't only for show, as it was part of their school-based assessment. Food and nutrition teacher Erica Leacock says people often don't see the importance of the subject and push students in other areas like the sciences. She says food and nutrition classes, once applied properly, could help solve some of the issues the country currently faces.
Our students are capable of ensuring food security for years to come. They're also capable of preventing chronic diseases based on the information that they garner in these food and nutrition classes.
Managing Director of A1 Supermarkets Carlton and Emerald City, Andrew Bino, says the relationship with the school goes back to 2001. He believes young people should be given opportunities wherever possible.
They can determine what products they want to sell, they produce them, and we put them on our shelves, we promote them, and give them the opportunity to move and get themselves involved in business.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, was thoroughly impressed. He wants local restaurants and fast food establishments to stop looking at traditional areas for specialty products.
I tasted the coconut ice cream, and the taste profile of it is excellent because it maintains the taste of the coconut in the ice cream. And in Barbados today, we are bringing in so many specialty items from overseas importing. It is not inconceivable from what that young lady did, that basically that ice cream, that kind of ice cream cannot be marketed in a fast food chain, and I think that is what we need to get at.
Chadija Jilks was responsible for that coconut and ginger ice cream. She wants to eventually own an ice cream company.
I feel comfortable doing that. I'm not really good at the cooking, the baking and things like that, so making the ice cream was comfortable.
Deshaun Miller got some rave reviews for his lamb burger. He told us why he chose to do food and nutrition.
At first I was doing the sciences and it wasn't really working out for me. but I could have always handled myself in the kitchen. So I just decided that I would take it more seriously, and now I have a mad love for cooking.
Khadija Jones tantalized taste buds with her Bajan cherry and pumpkin pancakes, which were served with guava syrup. She hopes to become an executive chef.
I love cooking food. I usually cook on Sundays and I just love it. So the subject will further my career and help me to get some experience.
Lisa Lord, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. Having established its dominance on the track, Springer Memorial School is now taking its pursuit of sporting excellence in the classroom to a higher level. Its sixth form students are for the first time doing physical education and sport at the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination or CAPE level. Word of this from Principal Pauline Benjamin.
We do it at the CSEC level. We also have it at the CAPE level. Our students will be taking CAPE level physical education and sports from this year, Unit 1. We take it very seriously, and physical education and sports here is not just about the practical sessions, there's also a lot of theory.
Ms. Benjamin says it's one of 4 new subjects the school's sixth form students will be doing. The others are performing arts, entrepreneurship, and agricultural science. The principal was speaking after a presentation of lunch benches by the Insurance Corporation of Barbados. She thanked the company for the donation, saying the benches will be well utilized by the students, particularly the first formers. And the youngsters also expressed their gratitude.
I think that having the benches was a very excellent idea because now we don't have to scatter around for places to sit. We don't have to sit on the rocks anymore.
I am very thankful that ICB has provided us with benches so that we could sit on them, because sometimes the rocks has been real dirty and we did not have to sit down in the auditorium.
ICBL's Senior Vice President for Business Development and Marketing, Alex Tasker, says the company was happy to help.
After a letter last year sent by the year head, we decided that would be a worthwhile venture to get involved in presenting the students somewhere comfortable to relax during break time and during lunch time. We think it was appropriate that they remain comfortable, and that we want to ensure that the school benefited from some of the area in our zone of ICBL, so that we can look out for continued good results and good participation in all the activities that they do.
We'll have more news after the break, but first we want to get your take on this question. Is there a future for the sugar industry in Barbados? Text yes or no to short code 8111. We'll have the results at the end of the news.
Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. Just know you're not alone.
Whatever home means to you is what your home means to us. Branca's celebrating 40 years of affordable luxury. Now on sale. Large ceramic and porcelain tiles.
AIDS awareness has been such an integral part of my existence and my life. I personally witnessed my mother and my father die before my eyes. Around that time, the stigma attached to AIDS was one generally of, it's a homosexual disease. You would have mothers burying their sons who died of AIDS, and the mothers would say, well, hey, I know my son was homosexual. The ignorance, unfortunately, was at that level. When my father passed away, I couldn't tell the average person what he had died from. As you can see, it's not a homosexual disease. This is affecting everybody, all walks of life.
Yo, who could it be? This is your boy R-U-P-E-E. It's all about live up, love, protect, and respect.
Together, we can all make the difference. So turn up the message and speak up now. Live up, love, protect, respect.
Music teachers organizing choirs for the Ministry of Education's Schools Music Festival will have to be at the top of their game if they are to win the event. Chief Judge Andy Williams says the competition is a stiff one. He was speaking at the Prince Cave Hall, where he was giving guidelines to the finalists taking part in the event. Mr. Williams has advised teachers to choose songs which are manageable.
To be honest, some teachers have been choosing songs that didn't really suit the kids. They were quite out of their league. And what you found is that they were going off key. So my advice is to choose songs that the kids can handle. If you don't have the music harmonized, get an accompaniment. Those are pointers that I have given to them.
Acting Senior Education Officer Fernando Carter says the feedback from the event has been good.
In this new format, all schools were invited to enter, and we've had a fairly good response, especially in the area of singing, because I believe some persons were still of the view that it's still a singing competition. The competition in the 4 preliminaries that we had was very keen. It was very difficult in choosing finalists, but we did decide on 27 schools going forward in the various areas.
As we just heard, 27 schools, both primary and secondary, will be moving forward to the finals. An environmental group called Octopus 3 is looking to launch a paper-making program in all primary schools. The process involves using water, plant matter and recycled material to make the paper. Octopus 3 also partnered with Productive Business Solutions in getting students involved in other environmental activities. The St. Lawrence Primary School was among the first of the batch to take part in the demonstration. Both teachers and students were taught how to make paper from scratch. The environmental package is a 3-day course which entails 2-hour lessons daily. Director of Octopus 3, Mandy Fain Cleaver, says the aim of the program is to teach students the importance of the environment.
Rising heat, cold, sea levels, we all know the effects of climate change, and this is a very, very small way of planting that seed to get students to realise as they grow older and they start working that their mindset about the environment has been changed because it's something that they learned in school, and we're more than proud to be able to do that.
Students also used a touch-screen device called a smart table. The instrument allowed them to place recycling and non-recycling items into the correct category. Manager of Business Development and Operations of Productive Business Solutions, Christopher Darrell, says it makes teaching easier.
It's a type of technology that the kids are very comfortable with, touch interactive technology, so that once the lesson is presented, the kids are free to play, and during that play, with this device, the smart table, they are learning exactly what is being presented by the teacher.
And it's clear from their response, the children had lots of fun watching paper being made. However, using the smart table seemed to have grabbed their attention more. The prevalence of visual impairments in countries across the Americas remains a major problem. This is in large part due to an increasingly older population. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Joy St. John says in 2010, the World Health Organization estimated that more than 26 million people have visual impairments, and about 3 million of them are blind. She says, however, there is a plan to reverse this trend.
In 2013, the World Health Assembly approved the Global Action Plan for the Prevention of Avoidable Blindness and Visual Impairment for 2014 to 2019. In addition, the Strategic Plan of the Pan American Health Organization 2014 to 2019, approved by the Directing Council in 2013, gives priority to eye health in the context of reducing preventable disability, providing access to rehabilitation services, and promoting better health and living conditions.
Dr. St. John was addressing a recently held ophthalmology subspecialty conference at the Hilton. She says the Ministry of Health remains committed to providing the highest quality eye care to Barbadians.
The Lions Eye Care Center at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital has been equipped with ultra-modern, state-of-the-art ophthalmological equipment to support the various subspecialties being offered by our ophthalmologists, which include a wide range of experts in subspecialty areas. The suite, located on the top floor of the Lions Eye Care Center, consists of 3 eye theaters which were refurbished.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agriculture Society, James Paul, says hoteliers need to support the marketing of local foods. Mr. Paul says Sandals Resort has already shown keen interest, and he's therefore calling for more hoteliers to work with the Barbados Agriculture Society in contributing to this initiative.
We're like, as a major hotel operators are coming, I mean, we have an indication from Sandals that they're going to work more closely with the BS in terms of sourcing local fruits and vegetables, and we want to expand that. So generally, we think that that might probably be the only downside in that, in terms of the number. But the fact that we have a hotel there, I think is indicative of the fact that there's a recognition that that they need to play a role in terms of facilitating the marketing of local fruits and vegetables.
Mr. Paul also wants the tourism sector to work closer with the BAS. He believes both sectors will benefit. Newly elected president of the Barbados Youth Development Council, Kimberly Norville, says her executive body is aiming to get more youth groups to join the organization. Ms. Norville believes this will strengthen the association and create new partnerships.
Going forward, we are hoping one of our main plans is to make sure that the Barbados Youth Development Council is known in the country. So many people aren't aware of what we are or what we do. There are so many youth organizations that are not even under our umbrella that we do not have contact with, and by having them together we can have more partnerships between the youth organizations, because ultimately, though the mandates may be different, the goal is the same between all of them, to have a strong, developed youth of this nation going forward. So one of our main goals is to have all of them coming together, have more unity among them, more cooperation and more partnerships, so that a comprehensive program can be created so that all the needs of our youth are met to the best of our ability.
She was speaking at the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth headquarters, where she and other members of the executive body were elected to represent the organization. Director of Youth, Cleviston Hunt, told them to do their best in keeping the youth active.
We want to remind them that the challenges of young people across the country are enormous, and that they have a serious responsibility to ensure that they carry out their remit and that they involve all young people in their net, and that their approach will be one that is participatory and one that will empower our young people across the country.
Still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across the region. But first,